Smart Agriculture Youth Network. Climate Smart Agriculture Youth Network. We are here to create awareness, sensitize, and build the productive capacity of young people and people living with disabilities for adaptation, reducing emission and increasing food productivity in a sustainable manner. Climate smart, climate smart, climate smart agriculture youth network. 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 Agriculture Youth Network. Climate Smart Agriculture Youth Network. We are here to create awareness, sensitize, and build the productive capacity of young people and people living with disabilities for adaptation, reducing emission and increasing food productivity in a sustainable manner. Climate smart, climate smart, climate smart agriculture youth network. Climate smart Agriculture Youth Network.
Pleasure that I introduce Divine Tiakam. Divine came at rather short notice from Cameroon, arrived late last night, and here you are. Divine, I've been watching your work. You've been bringing young farmers into a focus on climate, and you really focused on the agriculture sector as well. Would you like to give us for 3 minutes your perspective on nature-based solutions within the agriculture sector in Africa? You have the floor.
Very much. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much indeed for this great opportunity. Yeah, back in 2014, I was able to establish what we call today Climate Smart Agriculture Youth Network. We are looking at the climate impact across the entire value chain of the agricultural sector. And right now, as we speak, we're in 50 countries. One of the key issues was to actually address and make sure that young people look at agriculture as a business and lucrative business. Let it be attractive and make sure make money out of this. Call it as a business enterprise. And equally, looking at climate smart as the only one of the approaches to scale up profitability and livelihood among the rural youths. That's why I wouldn't stop here by saying that we really want to see that the NBS, the nature-based solutions, look at young people as development partners than beneficiaries, because if they are development partners, they will actually be kept on the table for discussions, right from conception right up to implementation. Secondly, we equally saying that if we transform the rural communities to rural cities, it's going to stem rural urban migration and global south, global north migration. And that's going to be actually give us a good potential in developing the continent of Africa and the world. And the third thing I have to say here is that ensuring that young people actually looking at the demographic dividends, they actually lead the NBS across their various sectors at community and national and country levels. And subsequently, we were recently opportune to translate the SDGs into 60 local languages because language or communication is actually key. So we are equally calling up on member states here to ensure that the NBS language should be youth-friendly as well. And the other aspect I have is that recently I traveled a lot across the continent of Africa, and I met some Ethiopian young youths who were actually developing a lot of good systems for production of honey, but they faced challenges to transport the honey to Nigeria, while Nigeria had a lot of vegetable oil willing to transport it to Ethiopia. So I came up with the idea of, I looked at their challenge as an opportunity for me to develop what we call I looked at the African Continental Free Trade, and I came up with the development of a concept note whereby young people should be mainstreamed in the domestication of the African Continental Free Trade across the continent to make sure that the boundaries are actually free for persons and goods as well, and like creating jobs for young people across the continent, because that's actually one of the challenges the global world is facing. Then the other thing I equally felt very interesting to share here is that young people are actually a solution space for development, and the SDGs, especially one, cannot be achieved if we don't have young people at the center. And with this, I thank you very much.
So thank you very much indeed. Let's give a big hand. And thank you for stressing that as we advance nature-based solutions, particularly in the rural space and particularly in the agriculture and food sector, bring young people in. They will find the solution. So beautiful. Thank you for your example as well.
So now we're going to be working with the CSA Youth Network, and as part of the week to hashtag Act for SDGs, they've been doing a lot of smart agriculture across the African continent. To tell us more about it, we're joined by Davine Ntiokam.
Yeah, Joban is my name, and I think I'm not just limited to agriculture. I'm very, very happy to say that the SDG framework, I was actually involved right back in 2013, and I actually led my world survey and stuff. So I'm very, very happy to be here. And I came here to talk about how can we achieve SDGs and what are some of the key components we need to address as far as young people are concerned. We talk of youth unemployment. The only sector that employs without discrimination is agricultural sector, no matter what you did in the world. And that's SDG 1, SDG 2. SDG 32 has to do with the climate smart practices of agriculture. The next thing I'm going to talk about is how do we ensure that agriculture is looked upon as a business? How do we transform and make sure that we create enterprises for young people? That's the only way we can stem rural, urban, and global south, global north migration. And the other thing I usually say is that for us to achieve the SDGs, for us to stem unprecedented migration, we need to transform the rural communities into rural cities, meaning that if the community X has affordable education and accessible, it's not that guy is not going to leave the community to go to the city. And that's going to really address the issue of urbanization. The last thing I will say, and I underscore here, is that we realized that the UN system has 6 official languages. We translated the SDGs into 60 local languages across the continent to ensure that nobody is left behind, be it at the community level and with the policymakers. And that said and done, I want all of us here to take a vow and say we're going to translate the SDGs into our local languages and get involved in the agricultural system. Thank you.
For adaptation, reducing emission and increasing food productivity in a sustainable manner. Climate smart, climate smart, climate smart agriculture youth network. Climate smart agriculture youth network.